Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio on a Tuesday morning. So last night during the Kingdom Show, Mitch was talking about the upcoming game against the Buccaneers, and he said, as of right now, the Chiefs play Sunday night in Tampa Bay. A little bit of a weather situation going on in Florida this week. Is that going to change?
At the moment, Mitch Holtis is right. There is no change at the moment, other than the fact that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have moved their camp. They moved out of Tampa and moved over east to Miami, and they're going to use the training facilities of the Miami Dolphins to get ready. This hurricane, pretty dangerous, apparently. And apparently, again, according to all the prognostications, and this is not a weather program, but the hurricane, well, Tampa is in the crosshairs of it. So I think they being the Buccaneers and the NFL, make a decision after they see how much damage was done. I really feel like they'll make every effort to play it on Sunday night, if for no other reason then it's on national television.
Yeah.
However, by the same token, what they could do is keep it in the same locale, but postpone it until Monday night. You know, and having two games on a Monday night is not unheard of. Or maybe a Tuesday a little bit later on.
Or what about in Kansas City?
I don't think they can do that, but I don't think they would, because that takes away from Tampa Bay's revenue for a home game, and there are just a lot of ramifications. Although Tampa Bay could keep that amount of money, selling tickets for it, there are no tickets for it. You'd have a long line of individuals waiting. They'll make every effort to play it in Tampa.
We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully everything stays the same, though, because I really don't want to have to change all the stuff that I've already done for the game on Sunday night. So, Mother Nature, if you're listening, please hold off. All right. After listening to Chris Jones's post-game interview after the loss in Indianapolis, obviously they're going to ask him about the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. He says, I was just having a conversation with Matt Ryan, but obviously you can't say anything or they're going to throw a flag on you. That's his version of what happened. Any further clarification beyond that?
Not really, but the referee does have to issue a written report to the NFL and explain just exactly why the flag was thrown and why the penalty was mitigated against the Chiefs. But we'll see. Of course, what else is Chris Jones going to say? By the same token, he's not going to admit that he said anything vile or insightful. But the referee apparently thought that was the case because he threw the flag right there, and he was there. He was right in the midst of what was going on, he being the referee. So we'll see. I think the Chiefs eventually will get a full report on it, but not going to change matters anyway.
Larry Nimmer say anything about it?
I haven't seen him.
You haven't seen him? Well, you better ask him about some of those calls or no calls on Sunday.
Well, in past issues I've talked to him about who some of the bad characters were, and he said, oh, yes. He said there's all sorts of language.
Oh, I'm sure there's all kinds of jarring going on, but I mean, to throw a flag like that at a crucial point in a game, we just shot ourselves in the foot so many times. Speaking of shooting yourself in the foot, how was that Monday night game last night?
Pretty good football game. The Dallas Cowboys have made a very nice little comeback. This kid Cooper Rush, who's come in as Dak Prescott's backup quarterback, heck, he's making a name for himself as far as being a starter is concerned. He played very well. New York Giants are a pretty good football team, a lot better from what people thought they would be. Dallas wins the game 23-16, first loss of the year for the Giants. And of course, it comes in a home game. Those two will have to play again down in Dallas. But the Cowboys look like they're coming on now and beginning to play the football that everybody expected them to be. It's a long season. Anything can happen, but hey, pretty good win.
Sterling Shepard carted off the field last night.
Yes,
that's a nasty injury.
Banged up pretty good. We'll just have to hold our breath and see what happens.
Hopefully he's not on your fantasy team, Ned. I know he's not on mine, so it is possible the Cardinals could clinch the division tonight. Is that right?
I think they will, as a matter of fact. Maybe not tonight, but certainly tomorrow night. But yes, they have it all but clinched anyway. One win and it's all over. One loss by the Brewers and it's all over. And it doesn't leave you very much room for error by Milwaukee's case. Anyway, Cardinals and the Brewers, 2-game series going on tonight. Up in, they call it State Farm Field now in Milwaukee. Changed the name of this stadium. But it didn't change the fortunes for the Brewers, although they are still in the hunt for a playoff berth as a wild card team. Lots of determinations to be made before the season comes to an end next Wednesday, 1 week from Wednesday of this week. It will be interesting to see just exactly how this breaks down because the schedule has changed because of the disruption in the beginning of the season. So it's been extended by 1 week. So next Wednesday is when it ends. Not tomorrow, but next Wednesday. And while the division champions will be decided, the wild cards may not have been. We'll see.
It's been a weird season, but good one, especially for Cardinals Nation. Who do we want to face off in those playoffs, though?
Of the wild card teams, in my opinion, Philadelphia is who they'd want to. Don't think you want to see San Diego again. That is a possibility. I don't think they want to see the Brewers. Brewers are they're not as good as the Cardinals, but in a 3-game series, anybody's dangerous.
You can get taken big time, but I guarantee you they're going to throw everything they can. As far as the offense, seems to be starting to move a little bit better than it was last week, but who knows? Albert took care of business over the weekend, as we mentioned yesterday. What about the Judge?
Judge hit 0 last night. The Yankees lost, as a matter of fact, to the Toronto Blue Jays 3-2 up in Canada. Aaron Judge did not hit any home runs, so he remains at 60. He's 1 away from tying Roger Maris and obviously 2 away from breaking the record, which would be the American League record for home runs. But again, there's a number of games still to play. The Yankees, while they have everything all but clinched, still need one more win to get there, and they'll get that, of course. But Judge will be in that lineup because that home run record is cherished.
He's got a week left to do it. We'll see if he can pull it off. I'm just glad Al was able to pull it off over the weekend, and I can rest easy. Mm-hmm. All right, so Missouri State really needed to take care of business on Saturday, and I felt like they got close, but no cigar. Going into that game, they were playing number 2. They were ranked number 5. Where are they at now?
They have been dropped to 9, but that's still, quite obviously, among the top 10 in America. And while there's a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth and so forth, the Bears actually did play very well. South Dakota State is that good. Big and physical, and they can do a number on you. They're not a bad football team at all. They're pretty doggone good. And their offense, while it has been maligned, certainly came to the fore. Mark Radowski, their quarterback, played very well. Okay, having said that, 28-14 loss. The Bears dropped to 9, play North Dakota in Grand Forks on Saturday at noontime. Every game from here on in is very big because I think the Bears are still, I'm not thinking I know it, they're still very much of a playoff team. They could probably afford to maybe take another loss. But after that, then things begin to get dicey because there are a number of very good teams in America.
And you don't want to get close to that 4 mark. You do not want to get close to that 4 mark.
No.
But yeah, I felt like Saturday, I mean, I watched most of that game, and I felt like they look good, but it's just like down the stretch, they just get gassed, and you can see it. But when you're trying to throw around a 300-pound kid, I don't care who you are, pro or college, you're going to get gassed.
When the big guys are laying, they don't even have to be grabbing you.
No.
When they're on you, laying on you like that, I don't mean lying on the ground, but forcing their body against you in blocks, that takes its toll.
Hell yeah, it does. Thank God we don't have to deal with that, Ned. I stopped him from pushing me around a long time ago. I'll see you tomorrow, sir.